In this video, we're going to talk about how to decide whether to drop a product line or a particular segment of your business. So one thing to keep in mind is if you do drop a product line, two things are going to happen. One thing is you're going to lose its contribution margin, right? So I've got an example here where you have an auto manufacturer and they produce cars and trucks. So they have two divisions, two product lines, cars and trucks, and we have the contribution margin that we compute for each of those divisions. And the cars, the contribution margin is $90,000, the trucks is $60,000. So let's say that you dropped the trucks division, you dropped that product line, you're going to lose the $60,000 in contribution margin, right? That's going to go away. But you're also going to save something, and you're going to save its avoidable fixed costs, okay? So you save the avoidable fixed costs of that division or that product line. Now, why I say avoidable, this is really crucial here, because in some cases, something might not be avoidable. It might already be a sunk cost that you can't get back by dropping that product line. So I want to look at this example here in a little bit more depth. So I've got the totals over here. This is for the entire firm. We've got the sales. We take out the variable cost. That gives us our contribution margin. And then we've got some fixed costs. And the fixed costs are salaries, and then the rent on the building. There's just one building here that both the cars and trucks are produced in the same building, and then that gives us our operating profit. Okay? So we see the firm as a whole has made $10,000 profit, but it looks like we've got the car division. This car division has made $20,000. They've contributed to operating profit, and then the truck division has lost $10,000. Now, you might immediately think, hey, wait a minute. Let's just get rid of this truck division here because it's the problem, right? Because they're losing money, they're dragging down the company. But we have to be careful and say, okay, how did we allocate these fixed costs, right? So these fixed costs here, how did we spread those among these two divisions? It depends on the firm, right? Every firm is going to do it differently. Some firms might not allocate fixed costs at all. But let's say that in this case, in this example, the salaries, let's say that there was a manager, a factory manager for the car division who made $50,000, and then the truck division had its factory manager that made $50,000. So if you get rid of the truck division, right? If you get rid of the truck division, you would save $50,000 in costs, right? So you would if we think about this right here, this $50,000, that would go away. But now let's think about the building rent, okay? So the building rent, let's say that you're in a 30-year fixed lease and you can't get out of it. So even if you say, let's get rid of this truck division, you're still going to have that building rent. It's not going to change. It's still going to be $40,000. So by allocating it and saying, oh, well, we'll take $20,000 with the cars and $20,000 with the trucks, that might seem fair, right? You're just saying, hey, 50-50, we'll split it. But it can affect your decision making because this cost, this $20,000 that you've allocated to the trucks, is not going to go away if you get rid of the truck division. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we could say, well, what if we got rid of the truck division? What would be the new total for the firm, right? So what would be the new total? So if we got rid of the trucks, we would have, let's just say we got rid of this here. So then we would have our total would be $200,000 in sales, right? And that's just from the cars here, right? $200,000 in sales, $110,000 variable costs, and that gives us $90,000. Okay, contribution margin. Now that makes sense because we said up here we'll lose the contribution margin if we get rid of a product line, and we got rid of trucks, so we lost that $60,000 contribution margin. So that makes sense. Now with the fixed cost, remember we said that this here was avoidable. This $50,000, that was a salary specific to the truck division. So when we got rid of that, the truck division, we don't have to pay the truck salary to the factory manager for that division anymore. But we still have this $50,000. So we say the $50,000 from the car division. Okay? And then now the building rent, this $20,000 here doesn't go away, right? We still have to pay $40,000. We can't get out of our lease. We can't get a smaller business. So now we have $40,000. Okay, so now if we take this $90,000 contribution margin and subtract the 50 for the salary, subtract the 40 for the building rent, we have an operating profit of 0. Now this is without, let me just put here, without truck division. Without trucks. So without trucks, we don't make any money. This is the firm as a whole. Without the trucks, if we get rid of that, we make no operating profit. Whereas before, with the truck division, we made an operating profit of $10,000. So it seems counterintuitive here that we say, well, look, it's the truck division was losing money. How come by getting rid of it, the firm, actually the profit went down of the firm? And the reason is this building rent, right? So we were allocating a fixed cost, right? A common shared fixed cost that was shared by truck and car division. And so when we decided to get rid of this truck division, that fixed cost now was just completely allocated back to this car division. Now, it basically, in a way, it's just kind of this accounting thing that kind of shielded us from seeing that, hey, we were getting some benefit out of having this truck division. And so by getting rid of the truck division, we lost $10,000. So that's why you need to be very, very careful when it comes to allocating fixed costs, because they can give you a distorted picture of what might happen if you were to get rid of a particular division. So in this case, it would actually be best for the firm. The firm would be optimal to keep the car and the truck division going, even though, based on their cost allocation scheme of this building rent, it looks like the truck division is